Happy New Year. Happy 2022. So here I am in my bathroom getting ready. I'm going to do a chit chat, get ready with me essentially, which is my favorite kind of video and basically the only kind I ever post. Yes, it's been a while since I have posted, but big news, exciting news. As the title says, I am engaged. So here is the ring. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, though, why the ring looks like this, the story behind it, all of that. So firstly, welcome to the new year. We just got to give God all the glory, honor, and praise that we are still here. And I pray that if you had a rough 2021, that 2022 is better for you. And if you had a great 2021, that 2022 is even better than last year. So I'm finishing up my skincare. I'm putting on my SPF right now. But yeah, let's talk about it. So it's still sinking in. It's been a week since I have been engaged, since my sweet future husband asked me to marry him. And he asked me on the night of December 27th while we were touring the Biltmore Estate with my family, which is in Asheville, North Carolina. So it honestly, which the video is on my Instagram, but it's honestly almost like a fairy tale because you have like this big castle-like mansion in the background. There's this dramatic music playing because they have music playing on the grounds while you're outside. And it's nighttime, there's lights for Christmas, there's people in the background, it's just right after the Christmas holiday. And then, he gets on one knee and he asked me to marry him, which is, it's so funny how all of this transpired. So firstly, I want to say, this is one of the biggest desires of my heart that God has answered. I have prayed for this for so many years. Other people have been praying for me for this to happen for so many years. And so I'm just full of gratitude, overwhelming joy, and honestly, just so much peace because I truly believe that this is the man that God has for me to marry. So let's talk about why I think that. Well, first of all, in my own relationship with God, I had to change first. That's the big thing. I had to do some changing first in my own character, my heart, my mind, and do some personal growth. And I think because of that, that is what made me stand out to the man that asked me to marry him. His name is Jonathan. His name is Jonathan. Secondly, I really had to trust God in this aspect of my life. I can tend to be prideful. I can tend to want to control things and want to make things happen, but I had to let God have full control and let this happen. And third, I had to take a risk. So I worked on myself. That was step one. And then letting God have control and taking a risk kind of go together. So how did we even meet? Oh, I can kind of talk about products while I do this. I'm using the Patrick Star, or the One Size. I always want to call it Patrick Star, but brand is by Patrick Star. One Size Secure the Blur Makeup Magnet Primer. I really like this a lot. So I had to take a risk and trust God. I actually met Jonathan a few weeks after my previous relationship ended. I wasn't really looking for anything serious. I was just trying to encourage people in the kingdom. And so I literally sent him a Facebook message randomly, a scripture of encouragement. From 2 Thessalonians. I think it was 2 Thessalonians 3, 16 and 17, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, and he was preparing to start medical school. So wow, the cat. Dose of Colors Foundation. Love this stuff. This is shade 137. And he wasn't really looking for anything serious either because he was preparing to go for medical school. So he didn't want any distractions from him pursuing his dream, which marriage was also part of his dreams, but, he wasn't dating anyone at the time. So that wasn't a part of his immediate dream. His immediate dream and goal and focus was just got into medical school. I need to focus on medical school. So that's him. So really, since neither of us was really looking, we really focused on just building a friendship. And here's the risk part. The risky thing about all of this is the fact that as feelings started to grow and develop, Jonathan lives in California. So he lives across the country. You guys know I live over here in South Carolina. He is literally across the whole country. On the other side, there's a 3-hour time difference. We have a 4-year age gap. Kind of 3.5-ish. 3.5, I'm just going to say 4 because math. I'm not good at math. We have a 4-year age gap. So he is 25 and I'm 29. He's across the country, 3-hour time difference, so he's 3 hours behind in time. He's just starting medical school, so he's like a fresh student again. I graduated in 2016 from college, and I have no plans to go back for any like higher education, but maybe like some certificates maybe. But I don't think I want to get a master's degree because I really don't want that debt. And it's been so long since I've been out of school, like the thought of having to like do assignments and read and stuff, like I'm watching him go through it and I'm like, ooh, Chile, you are a strong individual. I don't know if I have the willpower to do that again anymore. But anyways, there was just technically, from the outside looking in, more obstacles in our way than things that would make this easy or go smoothly, you know? It's not convenient at all. It's not, it's just not convenient. Like the odds are kind of placed against us when you hear all the list of things I just shared. So we took a leap of faith and a risk. And as our friendship grew, one thing that he will tell you is that during our friendship, after a few times of talking, he immediately, not immediately, but very soon after we began our friendship, he realized there was something different and something special about me. Without me trying, because I'm not focused on like trying to like prove myself to him or earn his love or respect or anything like that. Like we're literally just building a friendship. Like I'm over here, you're over there, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing kind of energy is kind of how this started. Like, cool, we can be casual and talk or whatever and catch up, see how you're doing, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. But, love and forever and marriage was not on our mind when it came to each other because of that list of things I kind of said. Well, that started to change pretty quick and early on in our relationship as he began to kind of see my character and who I am and just the kind of friend that I am. I feel like that really kind of shined in his eyes. And so he started to get to know me. He started to invest more time in getting to know me more. So we started talking more frequently, went on a couple of encouragement dates, virtually, of course. And just like, he kind of amped up his game, stepped up his friendship game because he was like, this girl is, something special. And that's all without me trying. I never felt like I had to prove myself to him or earn his love or respect. It just was mutual and it naturally just came. And then God worked in his heart to make him have the desire to know me deeper and to know me more. And then, of course, eventually asked me to marry him and be his wife. And that's one big thing about this relationship that is different than others. Even with all the obstacles in our way and all the inconveniences and differences between us, this is the most easeful relationship I've been in because our communication has been exceptional and our expectations were made very clear from the start through each transition of our relationship. So he knew exactly what I wanted. He knew I wasn't trying to wait that long. He knew that I was ready and that this is something I've been praying for and that I'm not out here playing games and essentially like, bro, if you're not serious, then don't waste my time. That's basically, I made all that very clear. Of course, I said it in a more gentle way, but just for the sake of the video, moving on and being very direct, concise. He knew all of those things. So there was no surprises. There was no like expectations that weren't communicated, It was all very clear from the beginning. So that allowed us to communicate very effectively. I knew he wasn't going to have a lot of time because he's medical school, things like that. And so we were able to manage our expectations and communicate effectively so that we could create the space and the time for each other when we actually began to start dating. So after building a friendship for what, about 3 months or so, is when we started dating. And that was August 17th, 2021. He asked me to be his girlfriend, which was super sweet. And yeah, we started dating, and we continued to just make sure that we communicated, that we created space for each other. We prayed together every night. And that was kind of like our one like extended communication each day. It was like we would pray together every night. Because during the day he was busy. We would text kind of infrequently throughout the day because his focus, like I said, is on his studies. But I knew all of that, so I didn't feel neglected. I didn't feel like he doesn't care about me, he's not thinking about me, he doesn't want to spend time with me. I knew, and I know that if he had more time, he would spend more time with me. But I know he's focused on medical school. And another thing is, I know that medical school doesn't last forever and it's temporary. So we're making a temporary sacrifice right now of not having a lot of quality time together, which is my number one love language. But we will be able to have more in the future. So I had this mindset. It was clearly communicated. So that's why I feel like our relationship works so well. But back to the point of me like not having to prove myself to him. Like this man just saw how special I was. And when he realized that, he started to make plans for us for forever here on earth. So let's get into the engagement. So that's kind of the backstory. Oh, also things in his character that really go well with mine is I can often struggle with pride, being prideful, and being selfish. But the way that he just calls me out so gently, how he calls me to consider my ways in the most loving and gentle way. There's just something about the way that he speaks to me and calls me higher that I respond so well to. And it has helped to transform my character in a way that makes me more righteous and more like Jesus. And I can be difficult, I'm not gonna lie, but just there's something about the way that he does it that I just respond very well to it. And I think it's that gentleness, and it doesn't feel judgmental, even though it is true and sometimes it is hard to hear. There's just something about his delivery that really helps me grow spiritually. Also, the way that he is more in love with Jesus than he is with me, and the same for me, it's beautiful. We don't ever like sacrifice time with God to spend time with each other. We don't do that. We both have made it very clear that God is our number one priority, that time with him comes before time with each other, and that we should spend time with each other and God on a consistent and regular basis. So that's where the praying together every night comes in. And it's been beautiful, and it really does strengthen your relationship. And when you pray together, you're hearing what's on the other person's heart. When you're praying with someone, I should say, with someone else, you get to hear what's on their heart. What are they concerned about? What are they, what are they struggling with? What are they celebrating? Who are they concerned about? Who's important to them? Who is in their prayers? How do they pray? How do they see God? How do they address God? And so those are all things that you can learn when you pray with somebody. And so that was just a beautiful way for us to bond with each other and also glorify and worship God through our relationship, and to learn more about the people in one another's lives. And then it also gives you something to check in with them about as you're building your friendship and your relationship. I'm kind of losing my train of thought, but yeah. What else does this man do? He's just truly a remarkable and phenomenal man. Oh, something else is that we both kind of love in a similar way. And we're both, I would say, we have a righteous confidence about us, where it's like, we just trust God. Like, hey, God, you put this person in front of me. I'm not going to hold back. I'm just going to go all in. And sometimes, that can come back to bite you if it's not the right person, but that's just not our focus and concern. It's like, if God puts someone in our path, we're just going to go all in loving them. And if we get hurt in the process, at least we know that we love that person well with all that we are. And so when you have two people like that, it is a beautiful thing, because neither of you feels like you're holding back. One person doesn't feel like they're doing more or like loving harder. You know what I mean? Like it's just been so balanced between us. Like the progression of the relationship, how much energy and time we put into the relationship. It just feels really balanced, and just it feels it just things have just felt so peaceful and easeful when, because of the age difference, because of the life stage difference, because of the time difference, it could be a lot worse. But that clear communication in us, I feel like just being so similar in how we love people and how we invest in the people that we care about, it just really helped us to be on the same page and make a great partnership. So those are just a few things about this man. He also really values family. I'll tell you, Jonathan is of Mexican descent. He really values family. Family is super important to him. And so that was also really helpful because we both wanted each other to be actively involved with each other's families. Well, you're probably thinking, well, how do you do that if he's over there and I'm over here? What we did is like we exchanged the numbers of the people that we love, so that's family and friends, and we left it up to one another to invest in building those relationships too. So like he gave me the number, his mom's number, like his sister's number, his best friend's number, a few other disciples in the church, their numbers, and it was up to me to show that like I'm invested in this, and I'm invested in the people that you're invested in, and that have molded you and helped you grow and become the person that you are up until this point. I'm going to spend my time and energy not only getting to know you, but those people as well. And we kind of just left it up to each other, you know? And that was one way, another sign, the way he really got to know my family without me being a part of it. This is all just, I give you the numbers and he took it away. The way he really took the time to get to know my family with his busy schedule and all that he has going on was also another sign that he really wanted to know who I am and how I came to be, and same for me with him. And that's also another goal I have now that we are engaged, is to spend more time interacting with his family now that we, you know, we're doing this. We're doing this. And so I'm going to make sure I invest even more time into my new family that I'm going to be joining. And it just helps you learn more about that person, because the people you surround yourself with, by choice and not by choice, because you can't choose the family you're born into, it shapes who you are as a person. And so it's important that you get to know those people too, because it can kind of give you a look into why your person is the way that they are and some of the habits and beliefs and values that they have. So, and where they got those from. So yeah. All right, I think that's enough like backstory. If you have any more questions, let me know. If you want more clarity on some things, I didn't rehearse this. I'm just literally going off the cuff. And yeah, I just praise God for, honestly, I couldn't choose a better match. I couldn't choose a better man. And it's funny because I didn't really choose. God is really what put us together, brought us together, being bi-coastal, you know, all the things. And I'm just so grateful and I'm so blessed. And I just love his passion for God's word, and just hearing him share with me what he's learning, like it just inspires me, and it just makes me happy because I too am passionate about God's word. But we go about it in two totally different ways, which means I can learn from him and he can learn from me. And I love the way he retells the accounts in the Bible. Like we both just get really hyped up about God's word and can get lost in it individually and together. So it's just beautiful. So I definitely feel like he could definitely be and will be and has been an excellent spiritual leader. All right, I think that's enough backstory. Again, if you have any more questions or you want to know some stuff, let me know. And I kind of stopped talking about the products because your girl does have to get to work, but I don't have to be there as early, which is why I decided to make this video today. Let's get into, boom. Let's talk about my visit to California, the first time we met, and then his first time meeting my family. So our whole relationship was completely virtual until Thanksgiving. Since he's a student and I'm a teacher, one thing that did line up kind of is all of our breaks so that we could actually, you know, see each other face to face and in person. So my first time meeting Jonathan was Thanksgiving break. So I flew from Charlotte to LAX, to California, to meet him. And our first time meeting was at the airport, me with my luggage, standing on the corner, waiting for him to pick me up from the airport. And that is the first time we met. And honestly, people kept asking me, are you nervous? Are you nervous to meet him? Are you nervous? And I had zero nerves. I wasn't nervous at all. Because I've seen him, in video chat, like we talk, we just had that connection. Like I felt absolutely no nerves. And it was great. Like it was great meeting him in person. The one thing was like, for him, it was that I was a little bit taller than he expected in person, but that's fine. I did have on wedges too that day. So I was a little bit taller than I normally am without the wedges. But yeah. So that was great. And then of course, I got to spend Thanksgiving with him and his family and meeting one of his best friends and going to his church, and meeting, his congregation and stuff. And it was great. We went to San Diego, went to Balboa Park. It was a beautiful trip. We went to Puddlestone Park and like walked around this lake and just got to bond and just talk and be in God's creation, be in nature. And it was beautiful. He also was studying a lot during this time. So he was very intentional about planning things for me to do with his family where he didn't have to be there. And that's one thing I appreciate. And you'll kind of hear throughout this is like, we're both very independent. So like, I don't need him to constantly be around me when I'm around his people. And I don't feel the need to constantly be around him when he's with my people. Like I trust him to, be fine around the people in my life. And he trusts me to be around the people in his life without him being present. Like we didn't have to like baby each other. So that was also a good sign. And also because we kind of took the chance to get to know those people before we met physically face to face, it just made everything much easier when I was able to meet his family in person. And then same for him with my family. The trip was beautiful. One of my favorite parts of the trip was we had a girls' day with his mom, his aunt, his sister's daughter, and one of his best friends from work, who's also a lady. And we went out to brunch and we got like dressed up. And then we went to the Beverly Hills Mall after, just kind of walked around and did a little bit of shopping, nothing too crazy, but we did a little bit of shopping. And that was it was so beautiful. Like our conversation at brunch was like, he just did such a good job kind of introducing me to his family that the conversations we had were more of those deeper conversations, more of those future planning conversations. They weren't like wait, where do you live again? And what do you do? Oh, you're a music teacher. Oh, that's so nice. That's so cute. And what do your parents do again? Like all of that prep work, all that basic information, he did such an amazing job already sharing that with the people in his life. And, I did the same thing for him before he came so that the conversations that we were able to have were, like I said, more of those deeper conversations, more of those future planning conversations. And that's another thing that made it very clear to me that he was serious about me being a part of his life long term, as in marriage, because the conversations that we were having were about like, what are your thoughts on like raising children and where do you want to have a family? Do you want a family? Like things like that. How many kids? Blah, 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 blah. And talking, kind of sharing about some of the things that they did in their own parenting of Jonathan and the other people that had children and how they parent their children, some of the mistakes they made, some of the things they learned. And it was just like a beautiful conversation. Like I really appreciated them sharing their wisdom with me and what they've learned through motherhood and just talking to me about how excited they are for the future I have with their loved one, who is Jonathan. So that was great. That was like my favorite thing about that, was just like getting to know them sharing with me. Like I love when women and people that are, have more experiences, they share with me. That means a lot to me because that shows me you're like investing in my future. You want me to learn from what you did so that I don't make the same mistakes. And I really respect that. So that was beautiful. I also loved the day where him and I just went to the park, kind of unplanned, unexpected, spontaneous. He is the more spontaneous of us two, which is fun. Except for when he just randomly picks me up. I'm like, bro, I'm a little bit older than you. You can't just be sweeping me off my feet like that. Sometimes, and you know, he has mostly brothers, and so sometimes I feel like he forgets that, like, you have to be a little bit more gentle with me. I'm a lady, okay? You can't just be tackling me and all that. But it is fun. I'll say it is fun and it is funny. But anyways, we had a day where we just went to a park near where he lives, and we just walked and talked and tried to skip rocks, which was hilarious. I'm terrible at it. He knows how to do it pretty well. Yeah, we just spent time just being outside and just talking, you know, just chilling, kicking it, which is something we don't get to do like at all because I live over here and he's over there. So that was just beautiful. And I think I gave him a piggyback ride. I think he gave me a piggyback ride. It was just really sweet, just so pure and wholesome, and I loved that. That was my second favorite. And then I think my third favorite thing was, I have a tie for the third, was actually Thanksgiving Day, having Thanksgiving dinner with his family, and eating turkey and tamales. They have tamales typically for Thanksgiving, which is cool. I like tamales, so I was excited. And the turkey was so well seasoned. Shout out to his aunt. That turkey was good. That was some of the best turkey I had in the oven ever in my life. Because we fry ours over here. We fry it, and that is always good. Fried turkey will change your life. I've talked about that, I feel like, many times. Fried turkey, so good. But no, their turkey was great too. The tamales were good. And we had like Mexican hot chocolate, which was really good. And then one sweet memory is like, after we finished eating, like they turned on some music and we were dancing. So we danced together, and that was great. Like, I love dancing with him. And one thing I appreciate about him is that he's not really a dancer. I'm not the best dancer, but I love dancing. And even though he's not the best dancer and it's not really his thing, because he knows I love it, he, you know, danced with me, and he danced with his mom. I got a super cute video of them. It was just really precious. And then the other tie for third place is we went to have hot pot with some of his medical school friends. And I love that, meeting some of the people that, you know, you always hear about in the person's life face to face. And getting to like see them in person, it's just like, it's just was really sweet and really funny. There's this thing called the Dancing Noodle. We went to a place in one of the malls over there called Hodilao. I think it's Chinese hot pot. So good. The food is so good. If you haven't had hot pot, you should try it. It's really good. Yes, you do cook your own food, but it's like a community bonding experience. So that was cool to spend time with them. And then we went back and did skincare. They did face masks, and we watched a movie, the King Richard, right? That's Venus and Serena's dad's name, right? We watched that movie after, and you know, we're just able to just cuddle and just be together. You know, just have that quality time. It was really sweet. And then just getting to know some of his medical school peeps was really sweet. And so that was pretty much my trip to California. I'm trying to summarize things and go quickly because, like I said, I do have to go to work. So yeah, that was that. So then after that, it was, I believe, 19 days in between me going to California and then him coming here to the South, which he's never been past Colorado. He's never been further east than Colorado, which is pretty cool. That, you know, I got to bring him to the South and the East Coast. He got to see the Atlantic Ocean off in the distance in Charleston. So his trip here, a lot of stuff happened. Honestly, I'm not going to go into all those details because that's going to take me another 30 minutes to talk about. So we're going to fast forward. Fast forward. We watched movies. We ate food. He got to see the school I teach at. He got to see a concert. My concert was actually the first day that he arrived. He got to meet some of the teachers at my school, my principal. He got to see my students perform. He got to see me be very stressed. He got to see my car break down. Might talk about that more later. Rest in peace to my car. It's getting a new engine right now, but I'm not going to dwell on that. He got to see the university I went to. I took him on a tour of that. He got to see Rock Hill, where I used to live. Rock Hill, Hill City. He got to go to my parents' house. He got to meet my dog. They love each other. Praise God for that, because y'all know my dog. She either loves you or she hates you. That's pretty much my dog. So there's no in between. But yeah, he got to, you know, get along with Nola. He got to meet my family. Got to see Sumter, which there's nothing in Sumter. Just keeping it real. Ain't nothing there. And then let's get fast forward. I'm like, oh, we went to Charleston for a day trip. Beautiful. All these pictures and stuff, well, most of them are on my Instagram if you're interested in seeing the pictures and stuff that we took and all of that. Him meeting my family was beautiful. It was great. We had a really good heart-to-heart conversation about finances and the future and things that we need to work on or can work on. Suggestions, not like you have to do this. I want to make it sound like that, but like suggestions from my parents who've been married 31 years, things like that. And so let's fast forward to, we are now in Brevard, North Carolina. We stayed at an Airbnb in Brevard with my mom, my dad, my grandmother, and my sister. That's my immediate family that lives. Well, my sister doesn't live with my parents, but my mom, my dad, and my dad's mom, they all live together in a house. And then my sister lives in Columbia, South Carolina. I live in Lake Wiley, South Carolina. So we're all in Brevard. Hold on, I have to draw my eyebrows on. I don't think I can talk and do this. Please hold. Okay, we're staying. Yeah, this is really hard to do and talk. In an Airbnb in Brevard, which is like near the Pisgah National Forest. So we went to go see a beautiful waterfall, which the name is escaping me right now, but it was beautiful. That's the day after we got engaged. We went there. But the main reason we were up there is because we were doing a tour at the Biltmore Estate. You can look it up. It's beautiful. Like I said, it's like a castle. And little did I know that night is when he planned to propose. Now, everybody knew. His whole family knew. My whole family knew that was there. Everyone kept it a secret. And I knew he wanted to marry me, but I thought he was going to propose. He kept telling me, I'm going to do it in March. I don't have enough money. I need to save this and that. He kept saying all these things, which were false. Because he wanted it to be a surprise for me. And I was in shock. I was in shock. Like, I was not expecting it at all, which makes it, I feel like, even better, more beautiful, and more memorable, because I was not expecting it at all. At all, at all. At all. Not this soon. I was thinking it was going to be this year, 2022, not the end of 2021. So, I'm just going to tell you now. Homeboy had the ring for a couple months before he actually proposed. Like, when he, like, God, like, worked in his heart, he knew. He was like, this is the woman I want. This is who I want to marry. So homeboy Ben had the ring, but decided to wait and asking me so that my family could be there, which is super sweet and just shows, like, how considerate his heart is of others. And, you know, trying to honor my family too. And allowing them to be there for this special moment. Because, you know, he's about to be my family. Which is crazy that I'm even saying this, because, like, for a long time, for a while, I didn't think this would ever happen for me. So it's just, like, so surreal. It's still very surreal that this is happening. This is real. This is real life. But anyways, so I thought it was going to happen in March. He kept saying, I'll do it during my spring break. You know, I need to save. I need to do this and that. But nope, homeboy had the ring for a while and was just waiting for basically when my sister could be there, because my sister's a night nurse. So her schedule is intense and she'd be tired. So she'd be tired. She's often very tired. But yeah. And he also wanted it to be special and beautiful, of course. So Brevard was like perfect. Asheville was perfect at the Biltmore Estate. It's like, boom, okay, I'm going to do it there. Well, we're on this tour. And it's like a self-guided tour where you listen to like an audio thing. You hold up to your ear, you press the number of the room, you listen to it, tells you the history and blah, 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 all about the room. He was planning, or he wanted to do it inside of the estate so that, you know, it could be well lit for pictures and video and all of that. But we ended up getting separated from my parents and getting separated from my grandma and my sister. So we weren't all together for him to do it while we were inside. So long story short, this tour is supposed to be 45 minutes. That's what it said. Okay, on the paper when you get your ticket, it said 45 minutes. Our tour was at 9:30 at night, which is super late for me. I usually am dead asleep by that time. It was super late. You know, he's still dealing with the time change, coming 3 hours ahead in time. So he was probably fine staying up that late. He said he was. My sister normally works nights. She worked 3 nights back to back and then stayed up kind of during the day that day to be there for me, you know, and for us. My parents also tend to go to bed pretty early as well. Not as early as I do, but pretty early. So it was late. We were all tired. We drove 2.5 hours for us to get there. And for my parents, I think 3.5 hours or 3 hours to get there. So we were all tired. This is like the first day we get to this area, which is in Asheville, Brevard, North Carolina, Pisgah National Forest up there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So, all right. All of those things are not lining up. They're not working out. So the only time he really had to do it was after the tour. Please hold. I'm trying to get these brows done, y'all. I cannot talk and do my brows. So after the tour, we were waiting for the shuttle to take us back to where we parked. And it comes like every 20 minutes and it just left. So we had to wait. We had like a 20-minute window. Okay. Now that I'm looking in hindsight, it's like, okay, we got 20 minutes. And so I was being me. I was like dancing and being silly, talking about the tour, talking about the house. I was like, they went all these different places. They traveled around the world. And I did not see a single thing in that house from Africa. What's up with that? And then I was like dancing and being silly because that's me. I'm pretty goofy. And my dad, like everybody's kind of trying to get my attention without making it obvious, you know, like they're trying to be subtle, but like they need me to stop dancing and stand still, basically. And so my dad's like, I think he said like, hold on, let me take a picture of you guys for my boss or whatever. We had, at this point, we had already taken so many beautiful pictures. And I'm thinking in my head, you know, this is me. This is also something God has been working on within me is like, is not like being combative, but like being, honestly, the word is would be like more submissive in a sense. Like, it's not that serious for me to argue about it. It doesn't hurt me to just do what people tell me to do sometimes. Like, I don't need to argue or ask why or like be like, well, it'll work better if we do this, or, you know, I don't need to be in control. Like, let me just do it. Like, if it's not a problem, like, let me just do it. Like, you know, so my dad was like, oh, I was like thinking in my head though, like, you have so many pictures of us from tonight and this trip. Like, what do you mean take another picture? But anyways, I was like, whatever. So my sister was like, you know, the good lighting is over here. Like, we were trying to find some good lighting because it was dark. It was like after 10 p.m. at this point. Closer to 11, I think. Actually, I think it was like 10:20 something or 10:30 something when he actually proposed. So it was dark. And so we find a place and then we take like a family picture first. I'm like, oh, here's some good light. Let's take a picture of all of us real quick because we didn't have a good one of everybody with my grandma in it because one person always has to be the person that takes the picture, you know? So we take a family picture and then my sister's like, oh, my dad was like, oh, stand over here. Or my sister, one of them was like, stand over here next to Jonathan so we can get a picture of the two of you. And so I'm like going over next to him so my dad can supposedly get a picture of us. And then that is when he got on one knee and I was in shock. And my dad was so happy and excited about what was happening. He forgot to hit record, but thankfully, shout out to my sister, she got a video of the actual proposal. And he told me he was so nervous. I'm not gonna cry. It's so sweet. Watch the video. So he gets down on one knee and I'm like in shock, but it's amazing like how our brains work and just how God allowed this moment to happen because like as soon as he got on one knee, it was like nobody else was there. I wasn't at this mansion. Like you can just tell I'm just laser focused on him while he's speaking to me and telling me, you know, I want to marry you. I want to do this for a long time. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not gonna spoil it. Gotta watch the video on my Instagram. It was just beautiful. And I just felt so loved. And he knows that like, he's been telling me that he wants me to be his wife, but I told him, I've been told that by several people before. And I was like, I need actions and I need a tangible kind of declaration, proclamation of your love for me and your intention for me. Like talk it's great that you feel that way. I'm glad you are saying it, but like show me. I'm an actions person. Like show me through your actions that you're serious about this. Because like I said, I've been told that many a time by several men before that they want to marry me and girl, you good wife, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Show me you're serious. And we had that conversation before we even started dating. So he knew. And homeboy is serious. He came correct. And And so, yeah, that's when he asked me. It was super sweet. We took some pictures after. He was so overwhelmed with joy. He's so precious. He started crying. Like, it was so sweet, guys. It was beautiful. I couldn't ask for it to go any other way. It was perfectly imperfect and not according to plan, which is something that I've been working on, is like being okay with that and being grateful for whatever happens, however it happens, because that's how God intended for it to happen, you know? So it was just beautiful. It was really sweet. I gotta work on my brows, y'all. Hold on. And so then my sister was like, we gotta celebrate. So we stopped at the gas station and she picked up a couple bottles of some things for us to drink to celebrate. And we played a celebratory game of Sorry. You know, the board game Sorry. That's what we did to celebrate that night because it was already late. I think we didn't end up going to bed till like 1 in the morning or something like that. Pretty late. But, you know, it's just great to have my whole family there to be able to celebrate and just like share their congratulations. And it was just beautiful. Like, I loved every part of it. It was amazing. I just feel so valued, seen, cherished, heard. And loved, like for real, through actions, because it's a verb, you know? Love is a verb. And he's just been so patient, so kind, so gentle. And I'm just so excited to be his wife and spend the rest of my life with him. Like, for real, 100, period. And yeah, that was basically the proposal. And the days after that, where he was still here, were just beautiful, just like enjoying being engaged. And I'll never forget, the first person I told that wasn't my family was the dude that was like security at the Biltmore at the front, like where you kind of, where you first walk into, like where you can see the house. There's a little entryway where the shuttle goes to turn and drop people off. Random dude, I don't know him, but I was like, hey. I actually asked Jonathan, I looked at him and was like, should I tell him? And he was just like still on a cloud, you know, like he was kind of in shock after, like he was crying, you know, we were just like an unexpressible joy, you know? And I think he said, yeah, or something. He said, if you want to, or something like that. And so I was like, hey, to the guy, I was like, hey, I just got engaged. And he was like, oh, he's a lucky man. And it was just really sweet. So it was precious, so sweet. I'm so happy. We're both so happy. My family's so happy. Everybody's just so happy. And it's been beautiful. So, like I said, the days after that, we just enjoyed being engaged. We saw more sights in the area, spent time with family, ate good food, cooked together, cleaned together, because, you know, we were in an Airbnb, so we got to take care of it. So that was nice to see, you know, how I interacted with my family doing like the not so glamorous everyday life things, and how we were a team in that, and how we just, you know, did all those things too. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the proposal. I mean, it's special to me. It may not seem special or grand to you, but it's special to me, okay? And I just wanted to share that God will and can bless you with the desires of your heart if you really seek him first and keep him first always. And you should strive to be with somebody who does the same. Don't compromise. Remain steadfast. Pursue righteousness. Be okay with things not going your way, and really just trust him. Trust him. All right, guys, I'm almost done with my makeup. Let me check the time. I'll be right back. Doing great on time. All right, so I'm gonna pause right here before I need to figure out what eyeshadow palette I want to use. For lips, I'm just gonna do gloss. I think I'm gonna do Fenty Beauty Hot Chocolate for the gloss. The skin is done though, and the brows are done, and it looks really, really good. If I say so myself. I just have on bronzer, highlight. You saw kind of what I did. But I love the base makeup. I think it looks great. I'm happy with this. Let me sit down. So let me talk to you about the ring now. All right, so the story behind the ring. Fun fact, and I've already kind of done this on my Instagram, so this part I am familiar with. But I've never wanted a diamond to be the focus. I've always wanted an emerald because green is my favorite color, okay? Funny enough, Jonathan was born in May, so his birthstone is an emerald. I was born in December, so my birthstone is turquoise, and blue is his favorite color. So I think that's just something sweet that, you know, it's like a little extra icing on top of the cake that is our partnership. I think that's just really sweet. And so that's why the ring has an emerald in the middle, and then it has 2 diamonds on the outside. So there's 1, 2, 3 stones. And I wanted something that was a set of 3 to remind me of the Trinity, of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, because without God, this wouldn't be a thing. You know, without God, we would have never met each other. Like, I randomly message him on Facebook. Like, you know how many people in this world, how many disciples are in the kingdom, how many people I've messaged on Facebook, never gotten a response, or, you know. So I wanted that reminder of God, set of 3. And then, you know, a circle that is unbroken, represents forever, eternity. And that's what our relationship will be here on earth. It's forever. And I didn't want gold or silver because those are very traditional. And so I wanted rose gold. So that's why it is rose gold. You kind of might not be able to tell. And so those are kind of all the inspiration and things I wanted in a ring. So he got me exactly what I wanted because he listens to me. He hears me. He values me. He respects what I have to say, and he honors it. And he wants to give me everything I want. Like, he loves me that much to where he wants to work towards giving me everything that I want and desire. And so it's just really sweet. So yeah, that is the story behind the ring. I wanted something that was not traditional, that is very unique and different, because I feel like I am very unique and different. I also wanted it to be beautiful because I am beautiful. So I really appreciate this symbol of his love for me, that he got me. I love it so much. I look forward to wearing it and showing it off today at work. Because yeah, nobody has really seen it yet except the people at my church that were at church yesterday. And then, you know, this will be the first time I'm announcing to the staff and everybody at school that I am engaged, which means that I will be resigning from my current position and moving to California this summer. So pray for me in my job search. I'm starting that today. And just pray for us as we continue to go forward and continue our counseling. We did some pre-engagement counseling, so now we'll continue the pre-engagement counseling, but now we just call it premarital counseling because we're officially engaged. So yeah, just pray for us as we go on that journey to still growing and knowing each other, continuing to just submit and surrender to God's will for us, and just trusting him to write our story as we continue to give him the glory. I love rhyming. But yeah, just want to share that real quick. I know it's kind of all over the place and sporadic, but again, if you want any further details or have any further questions, please comment below. Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm so happy it's him too. Like, it's him. Just who he is, how he loves me, how he cares for me, how he calls me higher, like how he's a great leader. Ooh. I know it's a sacrifice and I know it's not easy, you know, but we're doing this, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to share that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm not going to continue doing the rest of my makeup and hair, which is basically just eyes. So let's do something simple. I don't want to do too much. I just want to do something simple on the eyes. I've been honestly loving like one eyeshadow looks, and I'm going to show you a couple new favorite mascaras while we're here. So there are 3 mascaras that have blown my mind away that I love. This is the Milani Highly Rated Anti-Gravity Mascara. This stuff is great. I really love this. It luminizes and lengthens. Love that. I wore it yesterday and a few times before that. Another one I've been loving is the Sephora Size Up Volume Extra Large Mascara. This one really voluminizes. And then the one I wore when we got engaged is the Milani Sky High Lash Sensational. And this one is really lengthening, and that's the one I'm going to wear today. I'm going to go for length. Palette. What palette do I want to use? Let's use the Viseart Dark Edit. I'm trying to use more of my makeup because I'm not buying more makeup now that I have to save to move across the country and stuff. That's one of my goals, is to no more spending on excess. All the saving, okay? All the saving. No more spending. So you're gonna see me use a lot of things that I already have, and you're not gonna see me buy anything new. So we're gonna use the Viseart Dark Edit. I love this palette. Let's do something bronzy, orangey, warm toned. These don't have names. I'm gonna take this color right here that's kind of reddish. I'm gonna put that in my crease. I said one shadow look, it's gonna be a 2 shadow look. Keeping it real simple. Let me grab the brushes I need. All right, we're gonna use this Luxie 205 brush. And I love this palette. It has like a little mirror in it. It's cute. So cute. Look how small it is. Isn't that cute? So cute. And I love the colors in this too. So we're gonna use that shade. I'm gonna put that in my crease. Just gonna fluff it into the crease. Or do I want to do an all matte look? Now that I see the shade, it's so pretty. Viseart mattes blend so beautifully and easily. It is raining. I don't know if you can hear the rain, and it's super windy outside. It's honestly like kind of ugly day when it comes to weather, but it's not super cold, so I'm not mad. It's windy and rainy, but it's like moderate temperature, like in the upper 50s right now. And I think the high is mid 60s or high 60s. It's been really strange, unseasonably warm weather for January / late December for winter, because it is technically winter now. It's been weird, but I don't control the weather. I just work with it. All right, so I'm really working this into the whole crease, making it slightly darker on the outer portion out here, and then diffusing it up. Honestly, you could stop right here and do mascara if you were really in a rush. I honestly like the way that this color alone looks. It's pretty. All right, I'm gonna take the same shade, different brush. This is a Luxie 239. It's kind of wide. You can see it's kind of tapered-ish on the ends. And I'm just gonna take that same shade, and I'm gonna use this brush to just apply it to my under eye area so I can frame my eye. I'm just gonna smudge, excuse me, I'm just gonna smudge this on the lower lash line. Yeah, everything's still surreal. Like I'm still like, I'm here on earth, but I'm just like in awe of just like how God has answered my prayers. Like, and there's some secret prayers that I have that nobody really knows about, but God knows, that I have written down. And if I look at the person he has blessed me to marry and I look at that list, it's like, God is real. God is alive. He is faithful. And he answers prayer. And, oh, I have mucus in my eye. Y'all know me in my eyes. I have stuff in my eyes all the time, unfortunately. And it's the same for him. There's some things that he has written down that he hasn't fully disclosed to me, but he's let me know that God is answering a lot of his prayers too, when it comes to specifically what he's wanted in a spouse, in a wife, in a lifelong partner. So it's just beautiful to see God work in that way. And it just makes me even more grateful, and I just don't want to take this for granted. I want to make sure that we are honoring God in our relationship. We continue to honor God all the days of our lives, because this is a blessing from Him. All right, and now I'm going to take this shade. I don't know what it's called, but it's pretty. I'm going to put that on my lid. And I like to use my finger for my lid shades. Ooh, their metallics are so like soft to the touch, but they're not crumbly. Very smooth. Almost like velvety. I'm just going to swipe that onto my lid using my middle finger. So pretty. And then we'll move on to hair and gloss, and then I'm gonna get dressed and leave. I already have my bag packed. That's another thing I'm doing as I prepare for marriage. Maybe I should do a video about things I'm doing to prepare for marriage, but I'll just share this one thing. Is I'm trying to get in the routine of developing like healthier habits for when you're cohabitating with somebody. I have lived alone for 5 years at this point. Not with another human. I've lived with my dog, but she's a dog, you know. And so I know that's a huge thing that a lot of newlyweds have to work through, especially since we're not going to live together before we're married. So I'm trying to develop some healthy habits that will make cohabitating easier. And we've already kind of discussed some of the kind of pet peeves and things that we don't like. And so I'm trying to make sure I get into those healthy habits now. Let me share one. One, for instance, is I used to have this giant pile of clothes on my floor, okay? Actually, I used to have 2 giant piles of clothes on the floor, one inside my closet, one right outside the closet, and then a third pile on a couch that I have in my bedroom. And Jonathan hates that. He hated that pile so much to where he's had conversations with my mother about the pile of clothes and how, you know, when we get married, like, she can't have that pile of clothes. So thankfully my mom came down and helped me get rid of the pile. And so the healthy habit that I am doing is what he does. I adopted this from him. He's told me about it, is after he washes his clothes, as soon as they're done and he takes them out of the dryer, he folds them all immediately and puts them away. Y'all, it's been hard for me, but I have not faltered. There are still no clothes on the floor, and she came down. When did she come down? The 17th, I think, of December. So for what, 2 weeks, I've been good at not putting clothes on the floor. I'm gonna go back into that same shade in the fluffy brush and just tap some of that over the edges of where we put the shimmer so that everything just blends together. I'm just tapping over. And that is, I believe, going to be the eye look. I feel like I had a little bit of shadow that got on my lower lash line, that metallic shade, which I don't really want any metallic on the lower lash line. Well, it's there now. I guess I'm just gonna blend it out and leave it under there with this brush I used. I'm just keeping it real simple. So yeah, that's the eyeshadow, and I'm not gonna do any eyeliner. I'm just gonna do mascara, keeping it really simple. When I actually got engaged, when he proposed, I wore one shadow only on my lid, and I put it under my eye, and that was from the Colored Rain Safari Rain palette. I love this palette, and it was the shade Amazonian Basin. I did a one eyeshadow look because I didn't know what was happening. Like, I just kept it super simple. Like, I was tired from driving, traveling, and all of that, and I just want something simple but pretty. And I love shades like that are like kind of taupey or like a shimmering brown. I love those kind of shades for one eyeshadow look, so it worked out perfectly. And then I have this mascara on, which we're going to put on now. Again, Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. I don't even think I primed my lashes or anything. I didn't curl them, nothing. I just went in with mascara. So we're going to do that now. I do have to build this up with several coats to get the look that I desire, but it's still really, really good. Sorry, y'all. Allergies. But yeah, this foundation is beautiful. This is not the foundation I had on when he proposed, but this is a beautiful foundation. Dose of colors. Love this foundation. Meet your hue. Find your hue. Meet your hue. We're shade 137. So pretty. I had on the Urban Decay Stay Naked when he actually proposed in those pictures, and it looks beautiful in the pictures. And I wear shade 80 neutral in that foundation. It's definitely in my top 3. Some of my older faves are no longer my favorite foundations. Like, I don't know if my skin just got used to them and they're no longer working the way that they used to, but some of them I'm not really feeling like that anymore. But yeah, thank you for listening to the story time of how I got engaged and like the meaning and the symbolism behind my ring, and kind of a little bit of backstory about how we met and why I think we're a great match for each other, and just like my gratitude towards God and how the posture of my heart has been changed, and kind of my goals for this year, kind of all wrapped up, concise, to the point in this video. Again, if you want to know more details, have more questions, just ask. And if I feel they're appropriate to answer and respond to, I certainly will answer them, because your girl's an open book. And like I said, it means so much to me when people share with me what they're learning and how they're growing and what they wish they could do differently, so that it can help somebody else do better in their own life. And I want to do that for other people. It's super important to me. It's actually one thing that him and I have in common for like our vision on how we want to impact this world, is we really love mentorship, especially to like teens and younger people. And I work with the teen ministry here. Or I should say I serve. I don't work. I'm doing the work of the Lord, but I don't get paid for it. I volunteer my time. That's why I quit working at Ulta. I don't know if I've told y'all that. I think I did. So that I could spend more time with the teens. And yeah, because I just think about that time for me was I needed someone, you know, I really needed someone. And I didn't have that. And so that's another goal I have, is to just invest more in others. And invest in my future. Y'all see this length, baby? This mascara is amazing. You just gotta build it up some, but it is so good. You give it a little bit of time, your lashes will be looking fine. Put some on the lower lashes. I think my hair is easy. Oh, I also straightened my hair because he wanted to see a different style. He requested, and I was like, yeah, I can straighten it while you're here. But then it rained for like the first 3 days or so. Then it rained at the end of the trip. There was a lot of rain, but we didn't let that get us down or prevent us from celebrating or being happy, or even some of the experiences and adventures we went on. We just worked with it. The weather was beautiful while he was here, so I am grateful for that. So I was a little concerned about him freezing coming from California in December. It snows here. It's funny, it's easier for me to talk and do mascara than to talk and do my brows. I will say that. Look at that mascara, baby. Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. I appreciate you. All right, and then for lips, hot chocolate from Fenty. This is the finished makeup for, I'm trying to learn Spanish too, y'all. I gotta learn Spanish. La Escuela. Is that school? Escuela, right? I think that's school. We're gonna say yeah. But yeah, that's the story. Giving God all the glory. let's do this hair so I can get out of here. So this is a wash and go. You guys know I banned my wash and goes. Oh, I also cut my hair so short. It's more of like a wedge shape. I just love that cut and style on me. Edges. Do I really want to do my edges today? Nah, not really. Sometimes I like slick them and make them all fancy. Sometimes I don't care. Today I don't care. So let's, the only thing I'm going to do is like put a little bit of water on this brush. So the part where there's a little bit of makeup, I can kind of just get the makeup off the edges of my hair where there's some, like right here, there's a little bit of makeup. So I just use a little bit of water in my finger and just kind of brush over the makeup. So that, yeah, okay. All right, edges are done. That's it. Ha ha ha. But yeah, I band my hair at night to help stretch my wash and goes. And to help shape it. You'll see the shape. And this is day 4 of this wash and go, I believe. Day 4. And I tried a new combo. I'll show you guys. I talked about it on my IG. But this combo is a new fave. And I use satin scrunchies to band my hair. You guys know that already, but it's been a while since I made a video. Might be new people watching. But yeah, this is day 4 of the wash and go. And with satin scrunchies, honestly, you can usually slide them out. I did lose a strand of hair, but unravel it, okay? I'm a little rough with my hair sometimes. But normally you can just slide them off because the material, and if your hair is moisturized, it just glides. I'm just gonna fluff. Do you see the wedge? I love this shape on me. And I love this length, like right at the chin, right above the chin. I think it's so cute. And my hair is so soft. It feels really good. And then the bang. The bang, which is not really a bang, but like kind of, but not really. Ooh, we got some crusties. Look at that. So sometimes with edge control, you know, it can get a little crusty. So I'm just going to go in here like this with some water. Water is amazing to just rub the crust away. Okay, I'm just gonna massage the crust away and not reapply any edge control. When your edges start to get super crusty, I suggest not reapplying, and if you can, just roll with what you got. Because you're just gonna add to the crust, which we don't want. Not a pizza, no crust. All right, my hair is done. Look at this shape, guys. Isn't this cute? It's giving me very like 90s, you know? I love, love, love the shape. Let me show you the combo I use because my hair is moisturized. As you can tell, it has a little bit of shine to it. More so than with like some of my other wash and go combos. The definition is still bomb on day 4. And it's healthy because I did straighten my hair and I did touch it up with heat a couple times. And I do not have any heat damage that I can see or that I'm aware of. And no, I did not cut my hair because it was damaged. I cut it because I wanted a better shape. I always find my hair starts to get a little bit longer. It just isn't, the shape just isn't, it just isn't it, you know? Look at this. This is so cute. I'm cute. Okay, let me stop. Let me not hype myself up too much. All right, let me show you this combo, and then I'm getting off the internet and going to work, which I'm excited for. I'm always excited to go back to school in the new year. Like, I love the start of the school year, like, and I love going back in January. It's just awesome. It's always funny to see the kids try and rewrite the date too. I always think that's funny. Like, I'm like, guys, it's not 2021 anymore. It's 2022. We're gonna put on some just little hoops. I've been into the Huggy style earring lately. Look at me trying to be fashionable, keep up with the trends. Yes, like I think that's just so cute. Like the little hoops. I like big hoops too, but I've been on a little hoop kick as of late. Why can't I feel my earlobe? Did it even go through my ear? No, girl, that's why you can't feel it. But yeah, I'm trying to wear makeup every day so I can use up my makeup. I also have to get rid of a lot of makeup because I cannot take all this stuff with me to California. So that's what this next 6 months is. It's like, yeah, I got a lot to do in 6 months. That's all I gotta say. 6-ish months. All right, let me show you the combo and then I'm gonna go. And yes, I am wearing a dog bag right now because my dog refused to go out in the rain and poop. So there's that. So I just have the dog bag chilling. So for this wash and go, my leave-in, technically, hold on. There's one more product I did use. Actually, 2 more. I'm gonna tell you everything. So first, I sprayed my hair with the Keratin and Green Tea Reconstructor from Aflagy. I use this first to spray it, especially in the color-treated areas because my hair has been bleached a couple times. And then for my leave-in, I use the Adwoa Beauty Blue Tansy Leave-In Conditioning Styler, strengthens and repairs for damaged or color-treated hair. This stuff, amazing. Love, love, love. Can you see? There we go. Love this. This is good and it smells so good. That's why my hair smells good now, because of this leave-in. And then after that, my gel to lock it in, I tried a new one, the Eco Style Professional Styling Gel Super Olive 10X Moisturizing, max hold of a 10, alcohol free. Oh, and it has a little bit of protein in it too. And it has hydrolyzed wheat protein. Cool. My hair likes protein. I now have high porosity hair because it's color treated. I would say this little section, the bayang part is low porosity, but oddly enough, the rest of my head is now more high porosity. But this is great. This is, I think, my new fave, honestly. I'm going to try it with a few other leave-ins and see if it meshes well with other leave-ins other than the Adwoa Beauty. But if you haven't tried this one, and if you're still using Eco, then try this one. Love that. And then for my oil to like kind of take it down, break the cast when I was stretching it with the blow dryer and all, I used a little bit of the Olaplex No. 7 bottoming oil. Just a little bit. I mean, this thing is still full. You only need a little bit of this. And that is what I used for this wash and go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it was a little all over the place, but I just wanted to share. Thank you for your prayers. Continue to pray for me. Continue to pray for us. I'm praying for you, and you never know what God might do in 2022. Stay safe, stay blessed, and trust in the Lord always. Talk to y'all later. Bye.